on the West Coast.
WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com.
I'm Bobby Likas, host of Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Grab your calendar and let's make a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. On Car Clinic, we'll drive into the automotive lifestyle. I'll share information that'll help you make better buying and service decisions. So let's make it a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. WDBFradio.com, WDBF.FM, and Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Like us, you'll love us.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
K-Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at K-Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. K-Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Hey, this is Captain Hook for Statewide Pest Control Services. They've been serving the west coast of Florida since 1987. Statewide does it all. Pest control, termites, lawns, mosquitoes, tent fumigations, etc. This announcement is from their mold division. Since Hurricane Charlie in 2004, all their personnel are certified in mold and moisture control. Their two-step services are guaranteed to get you back in your home quicker and in most cases paid by your insurance company. Give them a call at 877-488-7378. That's Statewide Pest Control Services for all your pest and mold control needs, serving Florida from Pasco to Lee counties. Statewide Pest Control Services, 877-488-7378. 877-488-7378. That's 877-488-7378. You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. Call me a grouper. Stop fishing in Florida. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Good morning, everyone. It is another beautiful morning here in South Florida. The sun is just coming up. It is a beautiful blue sky out there, a couple of clouds. I'm being told from the other side of the state, the Captain Hook, who's on the line with me, some nasty weather headed their way on the other side of the state, on the west side of the state, but on the eastern side of the state, and of course we're talking about Florida, we are enjoying some really, really nice weather. So if, again, if you're out here in this part of the neighborhood, if you want to call it that, and you're not enjoying the outdoors, you're not doing yourself a service. You got to get out there and do what we so much enjoy, whether that is boating, kayaking, fishing. We have so many different things that we can do outdoors. I got up this morning, opened up the sliding door to let my little kitty out, and we're back to the hots, ladies and gentlemen. We are back to the hots. It was like opening up. Oh my goodness, the humidity, and it was already probably 78 degrees. And that was at about 6:45 in the morning. So the hots are back, so get ready, enjoy it while we can, and whatever it is that you like doing outdoors, I hope that you're going to do that today. I've got a wide variety of people coming on. Devin is a little bit behind this morning. He had some issues, but he should join us here shortly. So I've got Stacy McCaskill. What do you do when you want to go fishing and you don't have a boat, and you would love to be able to go fishing with somebody who has a boat, and you don't have a friend, or you do have a friend that has a boat, but for whatever reason they're not available, and you want to go fishing? What about if you have a boat and you're all by yourself? I remember in the days that when I had my boat, there were times when I wish I could have somebody with me on almost kind of a spur of the moment thing, where they could come and assist me getting the boat into the water, and then of course having some company while you're fishing. That always helps as well. Well, Stacy has an app that you can get. It's called Fish With Me, and she'll give you all the details about that when she comes on later. I've got Jeff Goldberg coming on. Jeff is with Fish307.com. Wide variety of products that Jeff offers. We're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on up north with regard to the fishing up there. There are, believe it or not, if you're listening in South Florida, there are places that are still snowing and ice is still on the water. And we'll hear a little bit about that from Jeff a little later. I have Pam Worth coming on. Pam is one of the top female kayak anglers in Florida. She has some amazing stories to share with us. She's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on in her neighborhood. The last time I talked to her, I think she was up in Jacksonville. I think now she's back on the West Coast. Well, we'll find out when she calls in a little later. And then I've got Kyle Sikora with Dockside Fuel Service. If you're one of those people who dread having to go to the marina and fuel up your vessel, Dockside Fuel Service will come out to you. They have service from Key Largo all the way down to Key West, and he'll tell us a little bit more about that when he comes on. And I have Charles, the one and only McCullough, and he's with the Coastal Angler magazine. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on, generally speaking, all around the state, as well as what's going on with the Coastal Angler magazine. You can find them at many different outlets. And my final guest today will be Captain Clyde. Captain Clyde is out in Louisiana. He is also known as the Crappy Psychic, and he'll explain why he calls himself the Crappy Psychic when he comes on, and he'll be with us a little later this morning. So we have a wide variety of guests that are going to be with us. I want to mention to you, because this last week, I find 2 more boats were stolen this last week. It really burns me and kind of breaks my heart. 2 more boats stolen right out. One of them was right out of a guy's front yard. A little 16-foot I can't think of the name of it. It's one of the flat boats for the flats. Anyway, 16-foot, Mercruiser on the back of it, loaded with, electronics, and literally took it from his front yard. I saw the post on Facebook. I responded. I said, have you got tracking? He didn't even know tracking was available. I said, you gotta, of course it's after the fact now, but if you decide to buy another a vessel or vehicle or anything for that matter, you've got to get this tracking. This is something that, we work so hard to get what we have. We sweat and we toil to get our, quote, our toys. And then somebody comes along and just kind of destroys all of that by taking advantage of a situation. And I can tell you from personal experience, if you've got some kind of tracking on your vessel, the ability for you to get that vessel back with the least amount of damage, sometimes no damage at all if it's fast enough. If there's tracking on that vessel, you're going to be able to, the odds of that coming back to you undamaged and quickly go way up. I had Carol on from Atlas Tracks last week and the week before because it's something that I feel is so important. It seems to be a trend going on right now. I guess it's because we are going into the fishing season, it's getting hot and people are going out in their boats and it's becoming more of an activity now. So I guess that's happening. And because of that, maybe there's a demand for this. I don't know. But I do know that the way that we can fight back for, again, for a minimal investment, this is an investment in a lot of money that you've got invested in one of your pieces of equipment, whether that's, a boat, a jet ski, whatever that might be. This is a minimal investment and this is something that is going to assure you the odds of you getting your equipment back, getting it back in good shape and getting it back quickly go way up. So take advantage of that. If you're not familiar with it, go online. It's atlastracks.com. You can find them online and all the information is there. They have them as physically as small as you could put in your back pocket. And of course they have other ones as well. There's really no installation other than just stick it in a boat somewhere. But one of those things. Anyway, that's something that was on my mind, something was on my heart. I wanted to share with the people. Please do something about protecting your equipment. This guy that had his 16-footer stolen had a lock on the trailer and they still somehow got away with this thing. So, doing your part, if you don't do your due diligence, I guess is what I'm saying, somebody's going to take advantage of you and before you know it, you're going to be missing something that you worked very, very hard for. I'm getting something from my producer. Give me a second here. I'm breaking up. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, just slightly. It sounds like it's rev limiting. It's like it's maxing out or clipping just a little bit. It's not bad. We're okay on the air, but it's just slightly clipping just a little bit.
Okay. All right. Great. So I'll just make a slight adjustment. Hopefully that'll help. Anyway, we're looking forward to having some of these guests on with us today. Let me, Steve, if you can give me just a second. I've got a small technical thing I got to take care of. Can we take just a quick minute break?
Sure. Stand by.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Okay, Riskella, we're back.
Okay, I apologize. A little bit of a technical issue on my end, but we are got that all straightened out, and of course I've got the one and only Devin with me. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning, Riscala. How are you?
Just sharing with the people how I saw 2 more vessels this past week stolen. One of them literally out of somebody's front yard, literally from their front yard stolen, and they had one of those trailer locks on it as well. And the importance of having something to be able to get that back, that is such a sick feeling for me. You know, I had a car one time that, I don't know, everybody seemed to want this car. And it was stolen 3 times in 1 year. And every time it was stolen, you come out, you park it, you come out, and it's not there, and it's this sick, empty feeling in your gut. It's just something I'd never been able to work my way through. So that was one of the things I was sharing this morning with the listeners, is that how important it is to have something to help you recover that. And Atlas Tracks, that's what I was talking about, atlastrack.com.
Yeah, it's one of the most affordable tracking systems for your boat, and it's a great utility. It's not only a security device because they have multiple ways you can secure your device with it. It's, when you're making long trips, if your kids are just getting into boating and you're letting them go out for the first time, you can track them where they're going and how their trip is. And on top of that, it's, most of the time your boat's recovered in less than 24 hours.
Yeah. So it is something to me that is that really stood out. And the week before, and those of you who are loyal listeners, thank you for listening. The last week we didn't have Devin with us, and there was a reason for that. Devin is an active reservist. He was serving the country last week. Thank you for your service, Devin.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But we were talking about last week again. 3 boats the prior week to that stolen here in the Palm Beach County area.
Yeah, absolutely. South Florida. In Florida in general, the fishing industry is a billion-dollar industry. Billion-dollar industry. It's one of our top producing industries here in Florida. Why? We're surrounded by water. Everybody from bass fishing all the way up to marlin fishing offshore. There's so much venues for fishing here in Florida. It's one of the, it's a big tourist attraction. And on top of that, we're not like the rest of the country with these storms coming through. We stay warm pretty much year round. You can fish year round here or do some kind of fishing here in Florida.
So you were telling me, what was it yesterday?
Yesterday we had the Missing in America project. This is one project that's near and dear to me. I am part of the funeral honors team at my command, and what we do is these people that this group of ladies and gentlemen, they get together and they locate remains of veterans that have been unclaimed. Either the family doesn't know they passed away or they don't have a family, and they actually have a full honor service for them, and they intern them into, they put their remains in the niches and recognize them for their service. It's great.
Wow. Well, thank you for doing that. That is something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, as I am a veteran as well. And I know that a lot of us come back from these places that are nightmarish, and basically the government turns their back on us. And we have to reach out to those who are out there that are available. That are people like you, Devin. Thank you. I mean that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I greatly appreciate it.
And it's also too that some of these people just don't know the resources they have available to them. There are resources out there, and there are ways to get help. And on top of that, for veterans, like I said, some of them either, and a lot of them, you have a lot of people that have pride and don't want the help, even though they are hurt and they need the help. So it's a double-edged sword with it for some people.
I am reminded every time that I go back to the hospital. My veterans benefits allow me to go back to the hospital here locally, and I'm reminded every time that I go back the price that we pay for freedom. I see it, I experience it, and it's constantly something that is on the forefront of my mind. So what we can do, whatever we can do to help our brothers and our sisters that have served this country, I'm all for that. So thanks again. I do appreciate that.
Absolutely. So while we're waiting on our first guest, let's get in some fishing.
Yeah. What's happening with fishing? Talk to me about fishing.
Fishing has been good. This time of the year, April, is a great time. The dolphins start showing up. Your favorite fish, Scala. It's your favorite fish.
Yes.
They start showing up, and you start getting some nice sized dolphin out there this time of year. So the dolphin bite's been really good. If you want to go fishing, today is not the day. The wind is supposed to kick up today.
Huh.
We're supposed to get some late evening storms, and the seas aren't in the best shape. If you didn't fish yesterday or got out a little bit on Friday, there was your opportunity this weekend. Get into some inshore fishing, do some snook fishing. There's a lot of fun on inshore to fish, from everything from snook to jack. If you fish further up north in the state, the redfish is awesome up there. They had a really good mackerel bite up north in the Sebastian area.
Wow. If I wanted to go fishing for dolphin right now, what do you feel is the best? First of all, what depth am I looking at, and what do you feel would be the best way to catch them? A lure or
to target dolphins? When I target dolphin, it's I put out a variety of spreads. So most of the time, if I'm prospecting, I'm looking for weed lines. I'm looking for some structure in the water. And what I do with that is I go ahead and put out two baits. I prefer to use Mr. Mullets. It's a local guy. He makes all the baits here. I've known him since high school, so he has his own bait business. I love supporting local people.
Wow.
So instead of me having to rig my own, I pay the little extra support, support the local tackle store, support the local businesses.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm 100% for that.
And, he uses quality products. It's not like some of these bigger bait companies. I'm not going to mention any names because I have used their baits before, but he uses the quality products. Everything is hand rigged. I mean, you can sit there and I've watched him rig. If you want to check him out, it's just on Facebook. It's Mr. Mullets.
All right. And
his bait's tried, true, tournament tested, and proven.
Wow. Hey, we're up against a break.
We'll talk some more when you come back.
Yeah. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. We're up against a break. It's the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Devin. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty, 561-281-9138.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
WDBFradio.com. 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 I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, it is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, with the one and only Devin. Good morning,
Good
Devin.
morning, good morning, good morning.
And again, if you're just tuning in and you know that Devin wasn't with us last week, it was because he is an active reservist. He is serving the country. That's why he wasn't on the air with us last week. So again, once again, thank you, Devin. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's not like I don't like you, like my fellow listeners out there or anything. No, I was doing my military obligations. So.
And you know, the other thing that you do is you serve in the funerals as well. What do they call that?
It's the Funeral Honor Program.
The honor guard, right? Is
Yes,
that what it's
honor
called?
guard. Yep.
I think that right, honor guard.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I remember from. So you wear the shiny helmets and
No, we have our regular uniform, but we're always in dress uniform.
like we called it in the Air Force like the blues, like the coat and the.
Yeah, well, we have our dress white, so we wear that, and depending on the occasion, would either wear you can anybody out there, they can Google Navy Honor Guard, and they'll see the style of uniforms that we wear, and not some of the pieces are optional, but nonetheless, it's hot here in Florida.
I greatly appreciate that. So as I mentioned earlier, we were going to have Jeff from fish307.com on. He has the man is just amazing with all the information that he has, and he's been kind enough to take the time to call in this morning. Good morning, Jeff. Welcome to the Fish Florida Show.
Good morning, and how are you? And thank you for your service in the Honor Guard. My son is also, or was also, honor guard with the Navy for 6 years. So.
Oh, there we go.
Good
Absolutely.
Thing.
Well, thank him for his service also from us.
All right. You got it. All right. So it's cold up here in the Great White North.
Yeah, I got some pictures from one of my other friends that live up in the northern state. He lives up in Minnesota, and I was watching the snowfall on Friday, and I was like, bless my heart that I'm down here and not up there.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a winter storm warning, and there's sleeting and freezing rain and snow. Perfect.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
and we're in April, getting ready to go in, halfway through that, getting ready to go into May. Unreal.
Yeah, it's been we'll say, quite the interesting season without question. As far as the weather is concerned, we had a really super early ice fishing season starting in December, and then we did great through January, and we got to the first week of February. We had a 2.5-foot snowstorm. It kind of put a stop on the ice fishing because he didn't know where we were going, but it was great for the snowmobilers, so that worked out for them. And then it got warm and cold and warm and cold, and the ice just went out here about a week and a half ago. And so we're going to get a smelt run, or the smelt run has started right about now. And so we're catching salmon and lake trout off the shore.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I had asked.
Need to get some warm weather. Yeah, go ahead.
I had asked Jeff to come on because he's also a professional with regard to electric motors, and we're getting into the time of season now where a lot of people are going to be freshwater fishing. They're going to be in those waters, in the backwaters, using their trolling motors. And some of the tips that Jeff can give us with regard to making sure that the motor's working properly, and a little bit of maintenance, so you don't have to take it off and send it in, because that's one of the things that he does. He works on electric motors. So give us some tips about electric motors, if you would be so kind, Jeff.
Okay, so we're a factory authorized service center for Minn Kota, and now more recently Motor Guide trolling motors. They all work pretty much the same way. So a couple of the biggest tips, especially getting ready for the season and then a few times during the season. Before you start every year, take the prop off your motor and check for any line, any weeds, anything on that shaft behind your prop. What happens is if you don't clear that off, okay, fishing line is the worst thing. It eventually, when the motor spins, it tightens on and it wiggles its way into the shaft seal, and that's where you get water incursion, and then you're going to bring your motor to me. So the best thing to do is to take your prop off at the beginning of the season, and then maybe if you fish a lot, it only takes a second. Once every week or two, take it off and make sure to clean all the line and weeds and anything that got stuck behind that prop. That is the biggest single reason why we see trolling motors next to dock hits. Okay? Wow. A lot of people, they have their motor sticking out because of the angle that they're on the boat. There's a lot of times there'd be a small, your control box will be sticking out past the boat a little bit. And so if you pull on that side in the dock and there's waves or whatever, dock hits are the next biggest thing that we see. And so we wind up replacing what they call the control box, which is the plastic piece on the top of the trolling motor. So we want you to be careful about that as well.
Yeah.
Now, I do have one other thing that's come up quite a bit recently. Some Yahoo out there decided that it was a good idea to spray paint the outside of the motor to protect the paint and what have you with undercoating or the stuff that you spray on a truck bed. Okay? Don't do that.
It can't
under
breathe.
Any circumstances. Well, there's a whole bunch of things that it does. First of all, it can't breathe. And so it'll overheat. It makes the motors overheat, and then we have to get them apart, which becomes impossible with that stuff sprayed on there because you can't break it off. All right. The other thing that it does, which most people don't realize, is all of these motors are actually manufactured and designed by engineers. And engineers, I'm an engineer, so what they do is when they spray or they powder coat the motor, the bottom part of the motor, okay, they do it to a specific thickness. And when they build all the rests and everything when it comes up, it's designed for that thickness. That undercoating is way too thick, so you wind up stressing the entire bracket of your motor, so you wind up ruining your motor because it overheats, and you wind up ruining the brackets and all the rests that the motor comes onto when it's not in the water. So undercoating on your motor is a no-no by every stretch of the imagination, and it will void your warranty as well. So please don't do that. We've had 7 motors in the last 2 weeks, all undercoated. So I don't know who's and that's in our Jacksonville, Florida. So this is a Florida thing. I've never seen it up north. So whoever in Florida is telling people to spray undercoating on their motor, stop.
How much you want to bet?
Really a big
somebody on YouTube.
Well, we've only seen it in Florida, and and the motors that we've seen from Florida are from Daytona North, so it'll be northern Florida. But there's a lot of other repair centers, so some of the other guys might be seeing them also. But what would normally be, if the motor failed in the same manner, what would normally be, say, an hour labor charge, winds up being 3.5 to 4 hours. In some cases, you just throw the motor away because of all the time it takes to get that stuff off, so you can take it apart.
Too labor intensive.
Brutal.
Yeah. Wow.
Right. It's not.
Years ago, I used to use a product. I don't even know if it's still available anymore. It was called LPS. Have you ever heard of that?
Sure. It's LPS is a lubricant.
Right. I haven't seen it in years. I didn't know if it was still available or not. But I used to work for a distributor of that product, and there was LPS 1, 2, and 3. The 3 was the stuff which left a gooey, oily mess behind. But the thing about it was that's what I used on my motor, on my inboard, outboard, on my vessel. I would spray it with the LPS 3, which this kind of reminded me. You're talking about the undercoating, but the difference here is this comes right off. This can be washed right off if you have to work on the motor or whatever. This can be washed right off very quickly. It doesn't build up like an undercoating does. It doesn't, so there's products out there. I didn't know whether that was still available or not, but that came to mind when you were talking about the undercoating.
Yeah, I would just recommend and suggest that the manufacturer puts on a powder paint that is made to do the job that it's doing in the saltwater, if you have a saltwater version, or in the freshwater for freshwater version. It's been engineered with the paint that's on there is engineered to withstand the conditions that it's in. So just leave it alone.
Yeah.
It works.
Broke.
It works fine. Yeah, it's not broke. Don't fix it. Exactly. The other thing that we see quite a bit, and I understand this is there's this myth out there about putting grease on your connectors. All right. So now there's a type of grease called dielectric grease, which is designed for this thing to protect, from corrosion and what have you. But you only use a little bit, and if you're going to do it, just the dielectric grease, just to do a thin coating on your connectors. If you use axle grease, which we see also, axle grease actually works as a insulator. So I had actually a fairly intense discussion with a customer not too long ago. He put a ton of axle grease on all of his connectors. He took the thing apart and put axle grease on everything, and the motor wouldn't work. And so what we did is we cleaned off all the axle grease. We sprayed everything down, with degreaser, and cleaned it all up, and then put it all back together and heat shrunk everything. And the motor worked fine. There was nothing wrong with the motor. And he told me that I was lying to him. So we showed him that the motor was fine, and he on the bench, and we have a trough, with water in it. So we water tested it in front of him. He saw that it worked. He took it home. He loaded it with grease. He brought it back to us and said it didn't work. So,
wow.
But this is not an uncommon thing. Okay, so these are the things that people do who don't fully understand what it is that they're doing, which is fine. I mean, I understand it. We all do things like that. But my suggestion is don't load up all your connectors with grease or heavy grease. If you're going to do it, go to an auto parts store and buy dielectric grease, and then just a very thin coating, which is a good idea. Okay, and to protect your connectors. Make sure you take your prop off, and to get all the line and things off the shaft behind your prop. Another big issue is your prop itself. A lot of people say, it's not so bad, because they get a bunch of dings and things. Now, you all have larger boats, so on your out drive, if you have a ding in your prop, what do you get? A vibration,
new prop.
Right?
Yep. A new prop.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you go buy a new prop, or you have your prop rebuilt because it's metal, so you can do that. Now, on a trolling motor, you can't feel that vibration, but it's still there. So it's the same thing. If you ding your prop up bad, you need to replace it. So also, because I don't know how bad the oyster beds are down in southern Florida, but up here the oyster beds are bad.
They're more on the they're more on the West Coast and a little further up north in the Jacksonville area.
Right. So we have tons of oyster beds up here. So what happens is the guys are pounding their prop on the oyster bed, so they wear out evenly on both sides. And people come in and say, geez, my motor just doesn't have what it used to have. And you look at the prop and you kind of laugh and you say, well, it's your prop. And they say, what do you mean? You grab a new prop off the shelf and you show it to them. The new prop is twice the size as the old prop.
Wow.
So you lose a lot of performance by beating your prop up. So, props are anywhere from, $15 to $35 or so. It's worthwhile if you have a few-year-old trolling motor and you're in skinny water and you're hitting the bottom to replace your propeller in order to,
there's
get full performance.
There's another side of this correct me if I'm mistaken, but there's another side of this. If your prop is wearing down, that means your motor is working harder. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
yes.
So the harder the motor works, the more heated the motor gets, the more amperage that the motor draws. So not only are you making your motor work harder, but you're making your battery work harder because it's getting warmer quicker, And the warmer it gets, the more amperage that it draws. The hotter an electric motor becomes, the less efficient it gets. So everything that you can do to keep it from doing that will ensure the life of the motor, ensure the life of the battery. That's another side of this that we really didn't talk about.
Right. That's awesome that you were able to explain that so easily. That's really good. I wish everybody understood that. So if you want your motor to work at peak performance, it's exactly right. You want to keep it in good shape. You want to have good prop so it's not working more than it should, which lowers the amperage draw, which lengthens the run time on your battery. And that's the next big thing on the trolling motor, which has to do with the trolling motor at all, is the battery or your electrical system.
Right.
You need to make sure that your batteries are in good shape. At the beginning of every season, you want to go and take your battery someplace if you can and get them load tested so you know the actual condition of the battery. Make sure you have good chargers so you recharge them, because you should be using a deep cycle battery on your trolling motor, so that way it's made to have long time use and draw during the day, and then recharge it at the end of the day.
I was just going to say
really big part.
I was just going to say that, or you can get on a person that one of my friends knows, and you don't have a deep cycle battery, and then you're pushing the boat for a mile on the flat. Yeah. Been there, done that.
Yep. Well, we are up against the break. Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time to call in. If they want more information about you and your company, how do they find you, Jeff?
Okay, so in Florida, you can find us on Facebook at Fish307JAX or Fish307JAX on Facebook. For the northern store, which we have parts available for everything that you can purchase on our website, is Fish307.com, and we also have Facebook at Fish307 on Facebook. And we have, we're the largest distributor of repair parts for Minn Kota in the country. So we've got parts. That's our main thing up there. And we became a motor guide repair center here this past winter. And so the motor guide stuff will be on the website sometime in the next month or so. It's a big project.
He's also on the app, ladies and gentlemen, the Fish Florida app, and my back is up against the wall. We've got to take a break. Jeff, Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey, y'all. Cedric the Entertainer here with Niecy Nash, taking a break from shooting The Soul Man to introduce you to Patience.
Hi.
Patience is a patient at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for anything because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
St. Jude won't give up until they end childhood cancer, sickle cell, and other deadly diseases.
Because of you, there is St. Jude.
Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Atkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
WDBFradio.com. 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 Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. Call me a grouper.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back, and again, it is a beautiful morning. The sun is up, and a couple of clouds showing up here and there. And Captain Hook, who is on the other side of the state, is on the west side of the state, was telling me that they're expecting some serious weather over there. Around noon. And I guess that's what you were talking about a little earlier, that's going to end up showing up over here sometime?
It's coming our way right after it
Oh my goodness. Well, if you're going to get to enjoy what we have out here, you better do it quick. You're going to run out of time. If that stuff is going to show up over here, we know how the weather can change, and literally in 15 or 20 minutes it can be sunny outside, and then 15 or 20 minutes later, it's looks like the end of the world with all of the thunderstorms and the lightning and everything. So anyway, my next guest is Pam. Pam is one of the top kayak female anglers here in Florida, and she has some amazing stories that she's going to share with us. Good morning, Pam. Thanks for calling in.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. I see that you confirmed the you confirmed the appointment at 2-something in the morning. You were up at 2:35 or something like that?
Yeah, I have a crazy sleep schedule. I don't sleep much, and that's when I woke up this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
I was explaining to Riscala, like, well, if Pam's fishing in a tournament, usually the tournament guys, that's what time we're up, getting ready to get out on the boat.
Yep, that's true. No tournament today. I bailed out of the one today because of what you just talked about. I'm in the Tampa Bay area, and it suggests that it's going to blow close to 40 today.
Wow.
Yeah. Did the Skinny Water Culture tournament yesterday, which is a hoot. If you guys are ever on the West Coast next year when they have their tournament, it's a paddleboard or kayak only, and it is so much fun. The people that put it on are hysterical. The rules are fun. You can fish anywhere. It's a point system. So it makes it fair if you're fishing bait or lures or fly. You all have a chance of winning. Adam's son, Landon, ended up with like biggest trout. And this young junior angler ended up with a $500 check yesterday. He's just awesome.
That's awesome. Hey, Pam, I had a question. So your kayak, are you able to stand up and fish on that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a native watercraft, and it's extremely stable.
Yeah, because my buddy's Hobie. He has no problem. You can stand up, you can fly fish, you can throw lures, and he's got a little bait well on there. He drags behind him for live bait. It's pretty cool. So I was just wondering if you're able, if it's stable enough to stand up on that kayak.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do stand a lot, and I'm 5'10", so it's going to hold a lot.
Okay, now you said something that caught my ear. You said paddleboards? There's people fishing off of paddleboards?
Absolutely. That's one of the newest crazes out there. Bolt makes them. A number of companies make them. Very stable. It was a little windy yesterday for them. I kind of felt bad for them. But they'll put a cooler on for their seat and attach a couple rod holders, and away you go.
You got to be kidding me. No, wait a second. Wait. We're talking about a paddleboard, right? Where you stand up on this thing and you have a paddle that, like a canoe paddle kind of thing?
Well, yeah, it's like a tall paddle. It's almost the size of a push pole. But yeah, now, and they make special ones just for fishing that are a little bit wider than what you think about as your standard paddleboard. And they're a lot of fun. It's a great way to go. The one that launched next to us looked like it was about 12 feet, maybe 13 feet long. Looked 3.5, maybe 4 feet across.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah.
Now I'm trying to picture in my mind somebody standing on a board. The only paddle boards I've seen is where people are just standing on them, just going down like a canal or something. So they're standing on a board. They got the paddle in their hand. I guess they got the rod slung around their back like you do.
No, you just got your rod holders mounted onto your cooler. That's mounted onto your paddleboard.
I didn't realize that they had paddle boards that wide.
If it floats, somebody's going to try to fish it, Riscala.
Yeah, you can either mount them. They have, they even have where you can mount a, how do I want to call this, a collapsible holding stand or lean stand, which is great for, and talk about for the fly fishermen. It's an awesome vessel for fly fishermen because everything is open. Everything is 100% flat. Wow. So you have plenty of room for your line and things.
So you don't catch trees like I do. That's about all I've caught fishing is trees.
If there's a will, there's a way. And it's like, if you think about boats, you have so many different types of boats depending on the style of fishing or your water activity. We have the same thing with kayaks and paddle boards. They're all designed, there's a different lines all designed for your lifestyle.
So I tell you what, though, Pam, those paddle boards, they have probably the best advantage because they can get skinnier than anything else out on those shallow waters.
That's true. That's true.
If you're trying to get to a hole and you're only in 6 inches of water, that paddleboard is going to have no problem. There's no poling. You don't have to do any of that. I mean, some of those kayaks need at least 4 inches of water to draft to get through some of those ones.
But I have no problem getting out and pulling mine across the sandbar if something like that happens. That's not an issue. It's all part of the game.
Yep, the paddleboard guys, they got no problem just paddling right through that.
It just shows you how ignorant I am. I'd never thought about somebody paddleboarding and fishing. I just thought they would be too busy with their hands paddleboarding with the paddle, So tell me a little bit. Tell me a little bit.
I was going to say, we got to get you back out on the water. That's all I can say.
Tell me what's going on with regard to bottom fishing out there.
Bottom fishing. Offshore bottom fishing, they're still getting grouper, which you have to let go. AJs are starting to come into the area, moving up a little bit. That's not really what's going on here in the Tampa Bay area. Our kingfish season is in full bloom. Wow. Kingfish are being caught off the piers. The south end of the Skyway had 10 over the last week, and a couple of them were really good sizes. King of the Beach is coming up the end of the month, which is probably the biggest prize money in the United States for kingfish.
Yep.
So
And they just had the second leg of the I believe it was the Meat Mayhem over there, or one of those the Kingfish tournament. Yep.
Yeah, the classic with the Wild West shootout. Yep.
Yep, the classic. My buddies were over there fishing that.
Yep. That's all going on. I'm thinking about doing. I keep watching the weather because in a kayak, it's you just have to pick your weather. So I need winds coming out of going east to west, and I don't need it calm. I just need winds coming that way. And it looks like I'll probably do Old Salts again this year.
Wow.
Yeah, because those kingfish, they do like a little chop on the water. If not, they're going to stay down a little lower.
Well, if we turn around, if the winds are coming out of the west, it's going to it'll in a little bit inshore within the first couple miles. It's going to keep down those waves a little bit, and it's going to give you cleaner water closer to shore. Because I really don't like going out much more than about 5 miles.
My goodness. 5 miles in a kayak?
Yeah, there's plenty of people that do that.
Yeah.
Lord, well, I guess on do you do that on the Atlantic side too?
Well, our side,
out of Pompano. They just finished the sailfish tournament a couple weeks ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, on our side here, you don't even have to go that far. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. On the other side of the state, you got to go way out to get anything.
Well, the thing is with the Gulf Stream, and I explained this on my other show last week, unlike the East Coast side here, and I'm sure Pam will agree with me, we have the Gulf Stream working for us, right? So on the Gulf Coast side, it's like mini oceans all put into one. So you have to find that current that's going on in that area to find the fish. And I'm sure Pam will testify to that one.
Well, what I do, you're gonna laugh. I'm real old school when it comes to kingfish. I'm pretty much watching the birds because I don't have the ability to troll high-speed plugs, obviously. Yeah. So I can't cover as much land. So I really need to look at the elements, and I'll follow birds. I'll look for any type of, fish movement. I like to fish in and out of crab pot areas that are out 20 feet or 30 feet deep. Usually that shows that's hard bottom. So I use a lot of those. And then every now and then, if I get gutsy, I'll go zigzag the shipping channel. Watch out for everybody.
So Pam, with that, are you able to live bait on your kayak for your offshore kayak?
Absolutely. I carry a live well in the back. It's a Keep Alive. It's 12 gallons, and you do the math, 8 pounds per gallon. And it's got a great system to it. I'll turn around, Zabiki for my bait, and once I like to get 3 or 4. The second I have 3 or 4, the next fish goes right on one rod and out, or I continue. I like to have 6 or 7 fish in the live well to actually go out and start fishing. But the first time I get a few, I'll put one on. And then I've got like outriggers, so I'll put one on each side of the boat and slow troll, or if the current's strong, I'll just drift.
Yep.
Wow. I'm here like I'm in amazement. You have all these things. I'm thinking, you talk about old school. I'm so ignorant to some of this stuff. You're talking about a kayak. I'm thinking about what I see in my mind is these people get in this little boat, so to speak, and they launch themselves off the shore into some kind of a river, hauling butt in whitewater, and that's about the extent of that. The usage of that kind of a vessel. In my mind, I'm seeing that. But you're describing something that can become very, very sophisticated. Outriggers, coolers,
And I mean, a lot of these kayaks out there, like these serious fishing kayaks, you can have a depth finder and fish finder in your kayak too.
Lord have mercy.
I do. I have my transducer. I keep my transducer inside the hull of my kayak. The Native has a perfect spot for it, and it's basically glued down on the inside. Some people put them through their scuppers. Some people mount them to the bottom. More and more kayaks are designed where you can put that transducer on the bottom of your kayak. But the only difference mine truly makes is it takes about 10 minutes to get the correct water temperature, because your hull is going to be a different temperature, especially if it's been sitting in the sun. So for me, it's going to take me 10 minutes at least to get where I want to go anyway. So
it works
losing a little bit of temperature is not a big deal.
Wow.
But yeah, I see the bottom perfectly. I have no problems with that.
One of the
only time I use it, Yeah, I never use I know people who do, but I don't use the depth finder if I'm fishing the flats. I only use it when I know I'm going to go offshore or go troll for grouper or something like that. Oh my gosh, I caught a grouper only this Friday. I was headed to a flats area and I was in a channel, got a 24-inch grouper on a paddle tail.
Wow. So Pam, if anybody wants to check you out, do you have a Facebook they can give you a like, or YouTube they can subscribe and see some of your videos?
Some of the best places to look for me is the Instagram. It's Pamela K. Wirth, and that's W-I-R-T-H. My husband spells it wrong. So that's the easiest way to find me. I had somebody hijack my Facebook page, so I'm still playing with Facebook to convince them that I am who I am and the other person is not, and that's kind of like talking to a stone wall.
Yeah, you're talking to
the Instagram is the best place to reach me.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So check out Pam Wirth on Instagram. You can see pictures of all her catches. Give her page a like, and you'll see her new pictures pop up. I guess you fish weekly on the Instagram.
Yeah, you'll see probably 2 or 3 posts a week on what I'm doing. And feel free to IM me and ask any questions. I've just had 2 pop up now on circle hooks and bait and things like that. I'll be happy. I answer everything except for exactly where are you fishing.
All right, we gotta go. I'm sorry. Again, back up against the wall. We have got a break we've got to take, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Pam Wirth, thank you so much for calling in. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Bobby Likas, host of Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Grab your calendar and let's make a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. On Car Clinic, we'll drive into the automotive lifestyle. I'll share information that'll help you make better buying and service decisions. So let's make it a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. WDBFradio.com, WDBF.FM, and Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Like us, you'll love us.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer, and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
K-Possum Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out. Fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Hey, this is Captain Hook for Statewide Pest Control Services. They've been serving the west coast of Florida since 1987. Statewide does it all. Pest control, termites, lawns, mosquitoes, tent fumigations, etc. This announcement is from their mold division. Since Hurricane Charlie in 2004, all their personnel are certified in mold and moisture control. Their two-step services are guaranteed to get you back in your home quicker and in most cases paid by your insurance company. Give them a call at 877-488-7378. That's Statewide Pest Control Services for all your pest and mold control needs, serving Florida from Pasco to Lee counties. Statewide Pest Control Services, 877-488-7378. 877-488-7378. That's 877-488-7378.
You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing it going on. When the sun shines all day. It calls me a grouper. So I'm fishing it going on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back, and it looks like we're getting a little bit of overcast here as Devin and I were talking as we were off the air here. Looks like it's starting to build up out there, doesn't it?
Yep. The rain is on time.
You better get out there and enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can, because pretty soon it's going to be overcast and we won't be able to have that wonderful sunshine that we've got that we enjoy so much. So take advantage of it while you can right now.
So we are waiting for Dockside Fuel Services. Looks like we have them on the line. Who do we have today? We have Kyle or Andy today?
Today we got Kyle.
Hi, hey Kyle, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you, Devin?
Good. How is what's going down in the Keys? How's the fishing down there?
We're hearing some reports of people finally catching mahi down here.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. I heard the blackfin.
I guess it's finally summer.
I heard the blackfin's been pretty good too.
Yeah, tuna and mahi. That's exactly what we're hearing.
Nice.
And the reef bite's not too bad either. You know, for those days that it's a little bit too windy to go offshore and you just opt to go out to the reef, we're hearing it's not too bad.
Nice. Yeah, the reef bite's been really good up here. Well, our reef's a lot closer, and our offshore you don't have to run and gun as far as you guys do in the Keys to get to that, the Gulf Stream, but still you got to run a little bit of a distance. Good to hear so if you're fishing in the Keys, the thing to target is the mahi and the blackfin. What
yeah, I mean we're not hearing like in the summer people are bringing home a ton of mahi, but they're catching them finally, it's because for the longest time people aren't catching them, so it's only a matter of time.
Yep, it gets better and better in the Keys as the months progress into the June, July months. The mahi gets better and better down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about the Keys? Was everybody getting back finally into the norm things after our big storm last year?
I'll tell you, the traffic seems to be picking up on the weekend, so I would say that's a pretty good sign. If you're heading south on a Friday, you're going to be sitting in some traffic, that's for sure. So that's all good to hear. I mean, people are definitely coming down.
Yeah, and the Keys, they rely heavily on their tourism down there.
Yeah,
it's a big tourist spot, especially Key West. I prefer to go to the Islamorada area.
Yeah.
That's where I like to fish. I don't really travel past Duck Key, but I say up in the upper Keys when I go out to fish. I don't like to get into tourists. But so Kyle, for our new listeners, Dockside Fuel Service, tell us a little bit about you tell us a little bit about what you do for the people that have never heard you before.
So we deliver fuel from Ocean Reef, which is North Key Largo, all the way down to Key West. And we have Rec 90 and dyed diesel. And really, we're pretty easy to work with. All we ask for is 24 hours notice, and we try to fit you in the schedule as best we can. And we got to get our truck within about 200 feet of the boat, because that's how much hose we have. Usually that's not a problem, but, we just want to make sure that we'll be able to serve you if we come to your house or your hotel or your condo or whatever it may be.
So wherever their boat is, you can come to them. So that works out really well. So for the people coming down there to tournament fish, if they're doing a multi-day tournament, you can get right to them and get them fueled right up. Am I correct?
That's correct. We try to fit people in as best we can, but all we ask for is the most notice you can give us, the better.
Yep. And 200 feet, I mean, that's a good distance, especially if somebody's bringing their boat down and they're staying in a hotel. And they have their boat parked up, because there's a lot of parking at some of these hotels for your boat, so it makes it very easy for you, so they don't have to fight with the gas stations and backing in and out, because I know some of those stations are tight to get your boat in.
And 200 feet, that's
definitely
3/4 of a football field.
Oh yeah,
that's quite a ways.
Yeah, we just want to make sure 95% of the time it's not an issue, but once in a while it is.
And we're talking about fuel that is competitively priced.
Yep, it's you said it's between the marina pricing and the gas
Street
station
price.
pricing. Am I correct?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, we don't compete with the street. We compete more with the marina, but we are significantly lower than marina pricing.
Absolutely. See,
unfortunately, gas has been going up in price, so it matters. Every cent matters.
Well, guys, see, the nice thing about this is Dockside Fuel Service, it's a convenience. You don't have to fight with the gas stations, wait in a gas station line, worry about when you're in the gas station, if somebody's going to clip the back of your boat. These guys come right out to you. So that little extra for the convenience, and you're supporting a local business, but on top of it, just for the convenience that these guys are going to come to you, they're going to pull the hose out, they're going to fuel the boat for you. It makes things super painless.
Yeah, we're all about convenience, and actually, a majority of our customers aren't even at the boat when we deliver. They'll give us a call. They'll say, "Hey, we need fuel by the weekend," and we fuel them and bill them, and they're not even there. They don't even know that we're there.
That's so awesome. So, yeah, that's my other question. I was just about to ask if you have to be there. Evidently not. They can. You can be at work and say, "Hey, I'm taking my boat out in 2 days. I need it fueled up on Friday evening," and you guys get it done for them.
That's how most people are. We like to meet them the first time and kind of talk to them, and then after that, a majority of the time, people aren't even there. Makes our job a little bit easier, and it makes their job a little bit easier. They don't have to coordinate with us.
Kyle, I just thought of something, a new catchphrase for your service. Are you ready?
Yeah, what's that?
Frustration-free fueling service.
Frustration-free fueling service. That's a tongue twister, but I like it.
I should be in marketing.
You kind of are.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was just thinking about what you were describing, and that's what I hear. And in my mind, I see no frustration. Once you do the initial setup, I can call you up. I need you to come over when, your first opportunity, load my vessel up for me. I don't even have to be there. Frustration-free fueling service.
Well, see, to all our listeners too, I mean, this saves you a good hour plus in the morning, so you get an extra hour sleep time if you're trailering your boat. Because if these guys fuel your boat up the day before when you're there, and you can go do whatever, say you want to go have dinner with the wives because you're going fishing tomorrow.
Yep.
Because everybody knows.
It's funny. Sometimes we actually, some people want to go out in the morning, so they'll say, we're leaving the dock by 7 a.m. or whatever it may be. We show up and fuel them. We know that they're up there. We see somebody upstairs and they're making coffee or they're sleeping. They don't even have to worry about it. We'll take care of it, and then we get in, get out, and they get them out on the water.
Hey, have you heard what they're using for bait to catch the mahi out there?
I have not. No, I'll be sure to ask around this next week though.
Okay.
Hopefully get an answer on that.
Yeah, I'd like to know what they're using for. Devin and I discussed it a little bit earlier. What were you telling me earlier about it, Devin? You were saying
For the mahi, now
you prefer lures?
For mahi, I like to use when we're trolling and prospecting. I like to troll. I like to troll squid. Is what I like to do. I don't know.
Raw squid without a skirt or anything on it? Squid?
The squid I use is actually rigged. The flash is rigged inside of the body, so it shows more pink, so it gives a really natural appearance to the squid. We'll troll that until we find the bait. And what I like to do is I keep a box of silver sides on the boat, and this is just what I do.
Mm-hmm. Captain Hook says he likes to use ballyhoo with skirts.
Yep, everybody has their own tactic.
Yeah.
And that's just prospecting, right? So when I get the we find the school of mahi, we'll just use chunk bait, or somebody will use just like a little lure, little hair lure, and what I'll do is I'll throw a handful of silver sides and out where the school is, and it keeps their silver sides are tiny, super tiny, or glass minnows. I'm sorry, glass minnows, and the glass minnows are so small they're going to eat that, not get filled up, not get filled. The silver sides I use for let me digress a little bit when I go yellowtail fishing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the little glass minnows, it keeps them excited. They have something to eat, and you don't have to keep a mahi in the water on the hook.
Wow. Well, I hear my kitty in the background. Wow.
Kyle,
we're talking about fish. I think she's getting hungry.
Kyle, what about you? What do you like to do when you mahi fish? If I know you're busy fueling boats. When you do get the opportunity to fish,
I usually use ballyhoo as well as Captain Hook. But everybody has their own style, their own whatever their preference there. I don't know how much that actually matters. You could ask 100 people and they're all going to say something different.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So with regard to anything going on with regard to bottom fishing?
Again, just the reef fishing. Yellowtail is what we're hearing for the most part. For the most part, we've been hearing everybody's been going offshore because the weather's been nice. I guess this front's pushing through, so we'll probably get some more reports about people staying in closer, I would assume, over the next couple days.
So Kyle's going to have a good reef report for us next week, is what I'm hearing.
I'm hoping so.
Do your homework.
So. No, hopefully have a report for you on the mahi as to what they're using out there.
Great. Yeah, so make sure you do your homework for us so that when you come back that you'll have a sophisticated report.
Kyle, we always touch on the offshore report. How about the backwater fishing? Have you heard anything on that?
I have not. Honestly, we mostly do boats that go offshore because flats boats, they don't burn very much fuel when they go backcountry. So we don't have a lot of backcountry customers.
And that's an important part of what you do. There is a minimum purchase that you must make in order for them to provide the service. And what is the minimum?
That's correct. We have a 50-gallon minimum.
Okay.
50 gallons on some of these big boats is a drop.
Nothing.
It's a drop.
It's nothing. It's a drop.
Yeah. And for flats boats that only have a 40-gallon tank or whatever they may have, we just don't fuel any of those really. I think we have a couple customers, but not very many.
All right, Kyle. So I like the technical question. So if I have two flats boats, like you and a buddy, would that be considered one call to come out to the same spot and fuel two flats?
Yes, it will.
As long as you do 50 gallons.
50 gallons.
Per flat.
Yeah, so if I'm filling like 30 gallons in one flat boat, another 30 gallons, you'll come out for both boats.
There you go.
Am I correct?
We do that all the time. We do multiple boats all the time.
See, so there's ways around the 50-gallon minimum, guys.
That's a great point, Devin.
If you and your buddy got two boats and you guys are backcountry fishing down in the Keys, and you got them parked right by each other, Kyle will come to you and fuel your boats for you.
Yep. Yeah. You get together and purchase it together, and that way you save yourself the trouble of having to get it out of the water, trailer it down to a station, fill it back up, put it back in the water.
And a lot of these guys,
to a marina.
A lot of these guys too, wherever you're staying, your boats. If you and your buddy's got their buddy come down there, and you got your boats at the, at the hotel, they'll come to you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
makes our job easier when people get together and coordinate fueling. So that's definitely true.
Wow. All right, so we're getting ready to take a break, but before we do, I want to give you an opportunity. If people want to reach you, Kyle Sikora, if people want to reach you, how do they do that, sir?
You can find us on Facebook or on Google, Dockside Fuel Service. You can give us a call, 305-923-6509. or you can find us on the Fish Florida mobile app.
Excellent. Kyle, thank you for taking the time to call in. Thank you for the fishing report. I'm going to ask you to come back on next week, do some homework, and let us know what is going on out there.
Sounds good. I'll do my research. Thanks again for having me on this morning.
We'll see you next week, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. Okay. Appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little bit of an early break here, a couple of minutes early, and then we'll be right back. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty, 561-281-9138.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com. I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing it on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing it on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskalla Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riskalla Stevens.
Okay, back. It is the Fish Florida Show. Thank you for taking the time to tune in and join in on the fun and allow us to share with you all the information we got. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning. And I just want to remind all the listeners, don't forget you can listen to us on the Fish Florida app now.
That's right. The Fish Florida app is a free download and a vital tool if you're going to do something outdoors. Not just fishing, anything outdoors, really.
Yep, they have stuff fishing, hunting, They have a shop on there. It links right to a lot of our media partners. You can check out their products on there. You can do purchases right through the Fish Florida app also, because they're linked directly with the people providing the products. Wow, brain farted there on that one.
And you know, Stacy with fishwithme.net, she texted me this morning. She apologized. She was busy cleaning fish. She wasn't able to call in because she was busy cleaning fish.
That's a good problem to have.
If you're not going to call in, there's two acceptable excuses. One is I'm fishing, and the other is I'm cleaning fish. So I just got a text from her. I wanted to share that with the listeners. She wasn't able to make it this morning. She is with fishwithme.net. If you're looking for somebody to go fishing with, you have a boat and you need somebody to go fishing with, you can go to fishwithme.net. If you don't have a boat and you need somebody to go fishing with, you can go to fishwithme.net, and you can find them where? Where can we find them?
You can find them on the Fish Florida app. You can also find them on the web, the World Wide Web, fishwithme.net. It's it's an awesome thing. They screen everybody. And so you're not going fishing with a serial killer, and somebody's going to tie you up and throw you over the boat and take your boat. And in that case, there's Atlas Tracks. They'll find your boat for you.
We got you covered.
We got you covered on there. But yeah, the great service they provide, and it's awesome because sometimes you just don't want to go out there by yourself, and it's a lot safer to go out there with somebody, just in case you have a breakdown or something happens to you. With God forbid you fall over, you hit your head, you slip, something, anything like that. Yeah. You have somebody on the boat to either radio it in or get you home safe.
Yep. So we have a lot of different products that we can offer. It is an absolutely free download. To me, it is a vital tool if you're going outdoors. Whether you're going kayaking, fishing, snorkeling, boating, camping, whatever that might fit, hunting, you can even get your fishing license using the app. You can use the app to go get your fishing license. So it really is a vital tool to have in hand. It's very, very thoughtfully put together. Everybody that I have asked, without exception, that I have asked to download it has been very pleased with it. It's not a cheap app by any stretch of the imagination. This was very carefully put together, and I think you'll enjoy it. Download the app. It's free, the Fish Florida app. You can listen to us on the app, and you will find a wide variety of other people that you can contact on there as well.
Yeah, it's a well put together app, but for the consumer, it is pretty cheap because it's free.
Yeah.
It's a free download, so it doesn't cost you anything, guys. Check it out. If and if it's not something for you, you can delete it.
That's true.
It's easy.
But I've got to tell you, the people that have downloaded have all been very, very impressed with the quality and the information that it provides.
Rascal, this is one of those apps that's great too. That it's not an app that's going to give you countless push notifications that it's not relevant to you and send you stuff on a daily basis. They put out maybe a push once or twice a week, and it's all stuff that's relevant to the fishing industry or the hunting industry.
Mm-hmm. I was amazed at some of the stuff that's on there. And Stacy is telling me that if you go on her site and you use FishFL as a promo code, you can get a $36 annual free membership with the fishwithme.app. So if you go to her site, which is fishwithme.net, I believe it is, right?
Yeah, and you don't even have to remember all these. Just download the Fish Florida app, and they're right there.
And if you use the promo code FishFL, you can get a free $36 annual membership with her. See, we always have something to offer for the people, whether it's information or whether it's something that is actually something you can actually use physically, something that you can. This is to me, it's kind of like a dating site, but it's a little more than that because, like you said, they do a background check on people. You're not just going to end up with somebody out of the darkness, for Pete's sake. You're going to be comfortable with who you have. It's going to be set up in a way where it's professionally done, and it's very inexpensive. To me, I can't tell you how many times when I had my boat, it would have been nice to say, hey, man, I want to go out, and I just can't get hold of any of my friends. Get on something like this and find somebody to go with you, help you get the boat in the water. It's a pain in the butt sometimes when you got a 24-foot boat. It's a pain in the behind to get that thing going.
Yeah, because it's a one. I mean, like I said, I personally can do almost any size boat under 30 feet by myself in the water. I put it in with no problem. But, having that extra person there makes it that much easier to watch, especially watch your boat while you're parking the truck.
That's true.
Because there's a lot of expensive gear on your boat. I mean, everything adds up. And don't tell the wives, okay? Everything does, and I'm only kidding, but everything does add up on the boat. Everything from reels to, your custom rods or your rods.
So anyway, our next guest, Charles McCullough. Charles is with the Coastal Angler magazine, and he's been kind enough to call in this morning. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on around Florida as well. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rascala. How you doing?
Doing well, my friend.
We got a big event today, and it's been going on this weekend in Fort Lauderdale. It's the Blue Wild Expo, and that's the spearfishing trade show for Florida this year.
Wow. I had no idea.
Oh, it's awesome. There's a lady named Sherry Day. You can follow her in our magazine. She writes a column every month for us about spearfishing, and I can't wait to get down there. I'm on my way now.
Oh, my goodness. Would you be so kind while I'm thinking about it as to send me her info, because I'd like to have her on and tell the people about what she does and spearfishing. That's something that we haven't covered. We've done a little bit of hunting. We've done a lot of fishing. But we really haven't done anything with regard to spearfishing. I'd like to get somebody on that can tell us a little bit about what's going on under the water.
Oh, yeah. And this particular event is geared toward free diving as well, which means, of course, they don't use scuba gear. They go out into the blue water, the Gulf Stream, or other parts of the world, and they drop their divers off in the water. They swim away from the boat. They, of course, have their diver flag and their safety gear. But they use teasers that float. They put a float on a set of dredge teasers and back away from it and wait for the wahoo. Can you imagine spearfishing a wahoo? I mean, you can't even catch a wahoo on a fishing pole sometimes. So these are some great anglers that do it swimming. It's amazing.
I have seen numerous videos of them blue water spear and wahoo. It's incredible.
I mean, yellowfin tuna, really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've seen it. We have photos in the magazine every month. Check out coastalanglermag.com. And right now, Rascala, you can go get her contact info. Like I said, Sherry Day writes a column for us every month. She's a world-famous free-diving spearfisher.
Yep, I've even seen him spearfish for, well, yeah, you did say the yellowfin, and I mean, and you're not talking like some little yellowfin. They're spearing yellowfin in the uppers of the 100-pound yellowfin.
Right on. And, of course, in the state of Florida, we have upcoming very soon, the scalloping season opens July 1st. And everybody should know that the scalloping occurs on the west coast of Florida from Homosassa up to Steenhatchee. And you'll need to check the FWC regulations.
You want to stay cool when you're feeling hot, but running
different weeks you'll be able to find the dates change in certain areas. So make sure and check the FWC regs. And also we have the mini bug season coming up the end of June. We have lobster season starting right around the corner. So everybody stay tuned in the magazine for lobster and scalloping as well.
When is lobster season?
Lobster end of is it end of June or July?
End of June is mini season.
End of June is mini season, and then big season opens in August.
That's correct.
And people like me that love lobster, but I'm allergic to shellfish, it doesn't help me any.
Well,
It helps my wife. She loves lobster. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Keeps you out of
it's
the
a little
dog
different experience in the water that way. But, I mean, we have summer coming up. Everybody should check out the new gear you'll find in the magazine for scuba. We've got some really nice things coming up to target the lobster folks. And it's just going to be fantastic. You need to check out the Coastal Angler magazine.
So check out the Coastal Angler magazine, guys. And yeah, every year the scuba gear too, if you're a scuba diver, even the fishing gear, everything evolves and gets so much better and so much more efficient. It's a great way to keep up with, what's new. If you guys are here in Florida, even if you're not here in Florida and you want to check out the Coastal Angler magazine just to see what's going on if you're planning a trip or even thinking about coming down to Florida.
I'll tell you the hottest new product, in my opinion, and it's really going to be good for this scalloping season. It's about a $100 product, and it's a new type of a mask and snorkel built in. It's full face. One of the companies that makes them is Head, just like the tennis racket Head, and the Sea View model. It's awesome. I got one. I can't wait to jump in the water with it. And it really works for folks that get upset underwater with that little bit of water down by their nose. You never get any water on the face. And the mask does not fog up because of the way the air channel works. When you breathe out, it goes around the edge of the mask. So it's pretty neat the way it's set up. Everybody should check out the new Head mask, Sea View.
You know, I think I actually saw that in the Coastal Angler magazine. It's really nice because it gives you a wide view of everything under the water, too.
It's just nice. A lot of people don't like putting their head underwater with a mask on. It just feels weird to them. This eliminates that. I love it.
That must be an amazing feeling. I haven't tried that, but I know the feeling of having the mask on, and then, of course, your nose is right there in the mask, and always the water gets right there, and you're trying to breathe without sucking it up in your nose. So I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, just check out, I think they're on head.com. I think they have like a swimming section or a diving section. I'm not sure exactly where on the site, but you'll find that button.
So what can you tell me? First of all, you're headed, where'd you tell me you're headed down south?
Lauderdale.
Down to Lauderdale?
Heading to Fort Lauderdale for the Blue Wild Expo, yep.
Okay. What's happening with regard to fishing around the state that you can tell me about?
East Coast, West Coast, they're both on fire. It's springtime. The transition period is basically flipped over now. Those fish are right at the edge of their summertime patterns. So if you're talking about redfish and trout, you will find them up toward the shallows a lot more than on the deep edges. But if you're looking for spotted sea trout, look for the edges of the grass flats in 3 to 5 feet of water. If you're looking for redfish, check out shallow water, a foot or less, early morning. Wow. And don't forget the topwater bite. Right now, for inshore is on fire, so pick out your favorite topwater lure this time of year.
Oh, I love that topwater bite.
No question. The tarpon are getting ready to roll through Tampa Bay. The month of May is when their tarpon season starts. All up the West Coast, tarpon are on fire. We've had some tarpon start to show up on the schools of bait here on the East Coast in Central Florida. Cobia are in. Mahi have kind of passed by, but there'll be some stragglers in May. We're going to have a great fishing season this year, even though that hurricane stirred it up. In fact, one other thing to mention, the shrimping is still going on. Normally, that's a cold weather sport. Something happened with this hurricane. The shrimping season is still on fire. Wow.
With it as warm as it is, huh?
I don't know why, but everybody's catching large shrimp. They're not the 3-inch size. They're 5, 7-inch jumbo size. Very nice buckets of shrimp coming out of Oak Hill, River Breeze, and even down into Brevard nowadays.
To me, that's surprising because in my experience, it's always required a bit of a drop in the temperature for them to be out there and to go shrimping like that.
Well, it's kind of nice to be an editor for Coastal Angler magazine because I get all the fishing reports shipped to my email. I know what's going on.
That's an unfair advantage, I believe.
No, it's great for your show because we can really give you some timely information for what's happening in the state of Florida for the month of May. I mean, getting ready to flip a switch that the fire's happening. Offshore is going to be hot in May. Inshore is going to be hot in May. In May, the freshwater fishing will transition into panfish. So it's a great way to take kids fishing. The bluegill, shell cracker, they're going to go on the beds. And then what will happen is the bass fishing post-spawn, those fish come off the beds, they're hungry, and they start eating bluegill. So break out a big rattle trap and a big swim bait if you're fishing freshwater.
Wow.
It's incredible with those the size of bait those bass will try to eat. They'll eat something pretty much 3/4 of their size. If they can fit it in their mouth, they're going to eat it.
Well, Gambler Baits makes a soft plastic that really works great in the freshwater, either the Easy Swimmer or the Big Easy. Both of those are very large swim baits. Dark colors on dark days, bright colors on bright days. That's pretty much what folks try to gear toward with any kind of fishing, fresh or salt.
Oh, wow. So you mentioned something that is a passion of mine, and that is to take advantage of we have here available in South Florida and go fishing and take a youngster with you. Build a relationship, have that experience, build memories, lifelong memories, and enjoy the outdoors, enjoy what we have to offer here. One of my passions, of course, is children. My life's experience has proven that. And one of my favorite people is Sergeant Frank with Adopt-A-Cop, because he takes kids out fishing and works with kids. So anybody that can take children out and work with children and build those experiences, lifelong memories, that's something that you'll enjoy for the rest of your life. Up against a break, Charles, I want to thank you so much for calling in. Before you go, one last time, if people want to see Coastal Angler, if people want to reach you, how do they do that?
Best way to reach Charlie McCullough with Coastal Angler Magazine is through my email, charlie@coastalanglermagazine.com. And you can find your Coastal Angler Magazine at your local fishing store, marina, boat dealership, anywhere that's fishy in those markets all through the coastline in the United States, you'll find Coastal Angler Magazine. Check us out online, coastalanglermag.com, and you can follow along with all the articles right off of your telephone if you'd like to. All of our magazines are online in their entirety.
Thank you, Charles. I greatly appreciate it. We'll be looking forward to having you back on. You always provide us with a generous amount of information, always useful. Wish you a wonderful day, sir. Safe travels on your way down through South Florida. We'll be looking to have you on very soon again. It is the Fish Florida Show. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. Got to take a break. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip. You can find your tide reports, buoy reports, get a fishing license, and even find someone to go fishing with. Plus great products and services from all our media partners. And oh yeah, you can get the Fish Florida Show on the app. Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern here on the WDBF radio networks. So download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip and tune in.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Healthy people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey y'all, Cedric the Entertainer here with Niecy Nash, taking a break from shooting The Soul Man to introduce you to Patience.
Hi.
Patience is a patient at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for anything because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
St. Jude won't give up until they end childhood cancer, sickle cell, and other deadly diseases.
Because of you, there is St. Jude.
Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It
broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Adkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They've reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
WDBFradio.com. 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 Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. It calls me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, with the one and only Devin Canhigh. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning, good morning. We are coming down and winding on the end of the show.
Down to the end of it here. Our next guest is Captain Clyde, and Captain Clyde is also known as the Crappie Psychic. Actually, I believe it's pronounced Crappie, right?
Crappie,
yeah,
correct.
Crappie Psychic, and he's going to explain to us how he came across that name. I just get such a kick out of that. Good morning, Captain Clyde. Thank you so much for calling in.
Good morning, Riscala and Devin. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning, the Mr. Sakale himself.
Yes, Sakale.
How is it?
That is. I'm sorry, that is the name we give them down here in Deep South Louisiana.
How is things going in Louisiana? How is the fishing? I know it's probably starting to heat up as the summer comes along.
Yes, the closer it gets to June, the better it's going to get for the crappie. They're still kind of in that transitioning phase from their spawning grounds to their summer feeding grounds, so they're not as stacked up as they will be. But it's starting to get a little better.
Awesome. So tell us, other than that, how are you guys dealing with that front pushing through there? Is it affecting anything right now?
Well, cold fronts really affect the bite of a crappie. Right before the front on that low pressure, when that low pressure is approaching and your barometric pressure is dropping, they go into a feeding frenzy. So it's great. It's really good as the front is approaching. A day or two right before the front gets here, and then as it's approaching, when it's hitting. But as soon as that front moves through and that high pressure comes over the state and you get that beautiful clear blue sky and that barometric pressure goes up high and steady, that is the absolute worst time to fish for crappie. Wow. So, I went day before yesterday and we did okay. We caught like 35 of them in an hour and a half, and then the bite just shut down. I mean, crappie's the most finicky fish out there.
Wow. So you've had a little bit of experience at this. How many years have you been doing this?
About 30 years.
My goodness. So when Captain Clyde gives you a piece of information or some advice, you can rest assured that it comes with a lot of experience. And one of the other things that Captain Clyde does is he makes, what do you call them, Captain Clyde? Trailers? Is that what they call them?
Yes, they're scented trailers. We call it our psychic sauce. And I've been tinkering around with scents for about close to 20 years. I'm a big believer in scent. I feel like the more scent you have in the water, the better it is. And I cover that exclusively in my seminars that I do. I've heard many times anglers say, I don't understand it. We're in the same boat. We're using the same bait. We're throwing in the same area, but he's catching and I'm not. Well, every human being has a different scent. So happens to be that particular day, the guy that was fishing, either he put some special scent on his bait to mask his scent, because you're always touching your bait, or the pheromones or whatever it is that governs the scent that you have on your body. His just happened to be working that day and the other gentleman didn't. So I believe in having a very good scent, not only on the bait, but on your fingers, because you're constantly touching your bait.
Good point.
And so scent is big, and I've noticed that in the last 20 years, and the recipe that I have finally mastered for our psychic sauce is amazing. Everybody loves it. It works all across the spectrum, freshwater, saltwater, out in the Gulf. It's a really, really awesome scent, and that's one of the big things that we have on our trailers. All of our trailers are scented, and the design of our trailers are different than most any other trailers on the market. Most trailers are either round or flat. Our trailers are diamond shaped. So you have four water cutting and grabbing edges. So whenever that trailer kicks to one side or the other, up or down, there's always an edge on that trailer that grabs the water and kicks it back. So that's why we get the unbelievable action and vibration from our trailers, because of its design. So
Captain Clyde, what kind of an ignorant question on my part, because I'm not real familiar with this kind of fishing that you're talking about. Why does somebody want to use a trailer?
Well, the first thing it does is it doubles the action of your bait. No matter what kind of bait you're using, even live bait, you put that trailer on there, and you immediately double the action of the bait you're using. So you get that action and vibration immediately. That's the first thing it does. And then, of course, they're scented. They're heavily scented. And if you see me at one of my shows, which we will try to schedule a show in Florida in 2019, of course, I'll let you know, Riscala, where we'll be. And I talk to the people about that scent. So I tell them, when they open the package to grab a trailer to put on their bait, stick their fingers in the package, get it on their fingers, and also rub your bait with that scent. So now you're going to have a scented bait and a scented trailer. And, I have anglers that call me and tell me, even if they're using live minnows, they actually scent their live minnows before they put them in the water.
Wow. So are there some made for freshwater and some made for saltwater, or is it just one kind?
Yes. No. We have what we call our crappie trailers, which are the freshwater ones. That's for crappie, brim, catfish. And then we have what we call our trout trailers, and those are good for saltwater. But the bass fishermen use both. They use our crappie trailers, and they also use our trout trailers for bass. And then we have mega trailers, which are 7 inches long, and they work extremely well for bass and also for offshore species like red snapper, tuna, tarpon, grouper, wahoo.
So if I understand what you're telling me, you mentioned snapper. That's one of the fish that when I do bottom fish, I like to go for. If I were fishing for snapper, a lot of times I would use like either live shrimp or maybe a pilchard, and then I would add this trailer to it, is what you're saying?
No. Our 7-inch trailers are good just on a jig head for snapper.
Oh my goodness! So
yeah, we just call them. We call them mega trailers because we initially made them as a trailer for like tuna, tarpon, But fishermen are pretty innovative, and they decided, you know what, I'm gonna put these mega trailers, they're 7 inches long, on just a jig head and see what happens. And
Wow.
they caught grouper. I have one captain out of Destin, Florida, that I sponsor, that he loves them for grouper and red snapper.
Wow.
And also cobia.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to try some of these on the inshore side when I go redfish and trout fishing.
It got me interested.
Because those 7-inch ones look perfect. You can rig them weedless. You can rig them on a jig head. They're
Yeah.
pretty versatile.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we have guys that are catching redfish and sea trout, which we call speckled trout, by rigging them weedless. And the speckled trout they're catching are 20, 23-inch long. They call them yellowmouths. It's a bigger. They're you know, you're not going to catch the little 12-inch ones.
Yep. And on the inshore, I'm sure Rascala, I'm going to give a little education to the listeners and Rascala. For when you're fishing the redfish, you're going to find redfish on the open flats. But when you're going after the trout are usually mixed up in the seagrass and the grass beds that are on those flats. So that's why I was when I mentioned weedless, when you're rigging them weedless, those hooks aren't going to get caught up in the grass and where the trout are laying.
Wow.
And as for scent wise, and Captain Clyde here, he makes the lures. He'll agree with me. When you're throwing artificial, it's not like it's sitting in the water. You're hopping, dropping them. You're dragging them through the grass. You're dragging them in the middle into the upper water column. So every cast, you're putting more scent in the water. You're creating a trail back to your boat. So when you're side casting or when you're point casting, you're putting more. The more casts you make, the more scent you're putting in the water. Am I correct, Captain Clyde?
Yes, indeed. And I tell my customers, after about an hour, they can go ahead and take that, if they're using the trout trailers, which are not quite 3 inches long, and they're actually using them as a trailer on whatever they're throwing, a crankbait or a soft plastic under a carp or whatever they're using, even live bait, live shrimp, live minnows. I tell them if they're not getting a lot of action, or even if they are, they can take that trailer off and put it back in the bag and let it recharge and take a brand new one out. That way you're getting more scent constantly in the water and on your bait.
Yep, and when you're red fishing, a lot of people, you just mentioned the Clark. A lot of people use weedless Clark spoons also. It's great for the redfish, so you can add this trailer and you're just doubling your chances on the catch.
Amazing.
Oh, no doubt. They will hit it harder and hit it more often.
So I want to make sure I understand correctly. These things basically don't wear out then. The scent doesn't wear out?
It does wear out. That's why I said after about an hour you can take it off.
That's what I'm saying.
It's still in pretty good shape. Yeah.
It's almost like a battery.
Yeah,
it's almost like a battery.
Put it back
in the pack and recharge it.
That is correct.
So essentially the scent wears off, but it doesn't wear out. You can put it back in the bag, recharge it, pull a new one out. When that one gets low, you stick that one back in, and the one that you previously put in is now ready to go again.
Yeah, well, I would, yeah. As long as it's in there for an hour or so, it'll definitely recharge. Now, not as good as when you first get the package, because most of the packages, it's been sitting in that sauce for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We keep a pretty good inventory stock. So, of course, the longer it sets in the package, the better, the more scent it's going to absorb, because the trailers are not made out of an extremely porous plastic, and they're not salt infused like our crappie ammo is. Anytime you salt infuse them, it makes them more porous and they can absorb more scent.
Wow. So, Captain Clyde, if somebody wants to reach you or find your product, how do they do that?
Well, we have a great website that we just launched in February. It's the THE Crappie, CRAPPIE, Psychic, PSYCHIC .com, or they can call us at 985-790-0862 and speak to us anytime about the product.
I greatly appreciate you taking the time to call in and sharing with us. I want to check out some of your trailers, your saltwater trailers. So I'll be calling you and placing an order with you for them. I'm thinking, what I try to do is, believe it or not, I carry a little collapsible telescoping fishing rod with me in a small, very small tackle box. And sometimes when I'm out in the field doing my work and I've got a couple of extra minutes, I like to take the rod out, throw the line out a couple of times. And I think having one of your teasers with me, I lost my train of thought. Trailers. I think that would be a nice thing to have with me. So I'll be calling you and talking to you about that very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Captain Fultz with the Crappy Psychic, and we're just about running out of time. One more time, Captain Fultz, before you go, Captain Clyde, be so kind. Phone number and website.
Website is thecrappypsychic.com. Phone number is 985-790-0862.
Wish you a great weekend, my friend. Thank you so much for calling in. Looking forward to having you back on again. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Kevin Canhigh. I almost said Kevin now. Again.
Yeah, you almost did it again.
I have to watch myself with that. I don't know why that kind of comes across to me that way. We hope that you've enjoyed the show. We will be back in a week, and we'll be looking forward to sharing with you that time. It's been the Fish Florida Show. Don't go away for too long. We'll be back in a week. Thank you for listening.